How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a quick peek into the cost of living and affordability index of what life is like inside of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Stick around, I'm going to unpack all of that next. If this is your first time here, my name is Bill Knapp. I'm a full-time licensed realtor in Denver, Colorado, and I produce these videos as a way to help people out if you're considering a move into Denver or within the city itself. That way I can hopefully see if I can help you out and maybe we can set up a time to work together. If you're interested to connect, give me a call at the number below. I will respond to you, or drop me a comment below and I'll do the same thing. If you're curious about learning about different areas around Denver, different metros, different cost of living, do me a favor, leave me a comment below, like and subscribe. That way you can get notified each and every time I release a video and keep you in the loop about all things living in Denver. Now, I did shoot a video previously about the pros and cons of Highlands Ranch. If you have not seen that, definitely go check it out. It has some great supplemental information to help with this video. And if you're not familiar with where Highlands Ranch is located, it's almost due south of downtown Denver. So for commute times and gas price considerations, you're going to be looking at a commute of about 25 to 35 minutes from Highlands Ranch to downtown Denver. If you're going from Highlands Ranch to the tech center, your commute time is going to be on or about the range of about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on time of day and traffic. And then if you're doing that business flight commute all the way out to DIA, your commute time, if you take the tollway, will be about 43-ish minutes or so. If you go I-25 and 225, your commute time can be 43 minutes. It could be an hour and a half. It really depends on time of day. Just things to consider so you can have plenty of gas in the tank and put that into your budget for costs. So to get us started on understanding what the cost of living is like in Highlands Ranch, I decided to take this location versus the national average. So using a scale of 100%, the day-to-day cost of living in Highlands Ranch has been rated based on betterplaces.net at 143% versus the national average of 100%, which means it's basically 43% more expensive to live in Highlands Ranch than against the national average. Now, on the surface, 43% extra cost of living sounds like a whole lot, but if you break it down into some smaller pieces, you'll realize it's actually cheaper to live in Highlands Ranch in some aspects and more expensive in others. And I'll get into those here in just a few minutes. But the moral of the story is don't be scared about the national averages, just use it as your baseline. Also, when looking at Highlands Ranch versus adjacent neighborhoods like Castle Pines Village, Castle Rock, Lone Tree, Centennial, and Aurora, Highlands Ranch is actually more affordable than some of our adjacent neighborhoods. Definitely more affordable than Lone Tree, much more affordable than Castle Pines Village, but then again, more expensive than Centennial, Littleton, and Aurora. So doing your due diligence really helps, and averages are just that, they're just averages. So let's start with the primary, most important cost that everybody always asks me about, which is how much does it cost to purchase a home in Highlands Ranch? Now, to get an actual cost, the average cost at least for some of the properties in Highlands Ranch is a bit tough because we have luxury communities and regular suburban neighborhoods. We have gated communities, retirement communities. So I'm just going to do a high-level average of single-family homes, townhomes, and condos. And to get started, if you're looking at a single-family home, entry base price in Highlands Ranch, you can expect to be paying on average about $663,000, which will get you into a 3-bed, 2-bath house, maybe a little bit bigger, and your square footage will be on the range of about 2,500 to 2,700 square feet inside the entire property. Townhomes are a great alternative to single-family homes, and they'll definitely be a bit more affordable by comparison, but only just a bit. So entry point for an average townhome in Highlands Ranch at the time of filming this video is $535,000, which does not include HOAs, which I'll get into in just a few minutes. And finally, the most affordable sector of housing in Highlands Ranch is going to be our condominium market, and there are a lot of opportunities in that market. Your starting entry price for about a 2-bed, 2-bath condominium is going to be in the range of $432,000. A factor to consider after purchasing or when purchasing a home in Highlands Ranch, Colorado is the appreciation. The appreciation in Colorado over the last 2 years, being the pandemic years of 2020 to current 2022, has been a bit unusual and relatively off the charts. Right now we're sitting at 12.9% appreciation year over year, which is extremely high and not sustainable, and we fully expect that to slow down as we move forward because a lot of the conditions that happened during the pandemic have ceased and we're going to return to a bit more of a normal real estate market. So what that means for your reference is using historical data, the average appreciation of homes in Highlands Ranch has been between 5.5% to 6.5% year over year. There's been an odd year here or there that goes down to like 4%-ish or so, which is still great because if you consider how expensive homes are in the area, that's a lot of appreciation and a lot of return on investment over a short amount of time. Also with the housing, you want to consider your property taxes. In Colorado, we're very fortunate. The property taxes here are extremely low. We're at 0.51% property taxes on average, which translates to about $2,200 to $3,200, depending on the size and square footage of your purchased home. When comparing property taxes in Colorado to other areas like back east or in the Midwest or coastal out in California, they are significantly lower. And I constantly hear people say how cheap and affordable taxes are here, especially from people that have helped moving from New Jersey who have to deal with like $21,000 a year in property taxes for a home that's maybe the same size or smaller than you would acquire in Highlands Ranch. A cost that you have to also consider when purchasing a home in Highlands Ranch will be our homeowners association fee. All of Highlands Ranch has a master planned homeowners association called the Highlands Ranch Community Association, and the cost for that is done on a quarterly basis, and the projected cost for 2023 is going to be $165 per quarter. And what you get with that HOA is really a positive benefit. You get access to all of our parks and trails, you get access to all 4 of our state-of-the-art recreation centers, and you also get access to all of our different community events, including all the different celebration ones on holidays. So pulling in that HOA into your monthly cost really is pennies on the dollar for all the benefit you receive. In addition to the HRCA master planned HOA, there are several neighborhoods, actually quite a lot of neighborhoods in Highlands Ranch, which will have a secondary HOA, and those are payable either on a semi-annual or an annual basis as well. And that really is variable depending on the neighborhood where you pick. We have several gated communities which have really amazing private amenities like backcountry, and the backcountry HOA includes a lot of amazing amenities, including private ponds, private trails, private pools, an amazing clubhouse. So you really are getting quite a lot for the secondary HOA. There are other locations like condos and townhomes which also have secondary HOAs, which helps with the exterior maintenance of the property. So the moral of the story is do your due diligence, or drop me a comment or a question if you're curious about an area, and I'll help you find out what that cost is for this specific community, and you can put that into your monthly budget. Now, if you're not sure if the Highlands Ranch area is your fit and you're curious about renting, the good news is where there are a lot of rental properties in the Highlands Ranch community. So you should have a good amount of opportunity between the various property types to find yourself a solid rental. And quick pro tip when looking at rentals in Highlands Ranch, be sure that you speak to whoever the landlord or the lease holder is on that property, just to see if you're going to be paying the HOA for them or if they cover that for you in your lease agreement, because you may or may not be able to reap the benefits of that master planned HOA if it's not completely spelled out in your lease agreement. And for rough consideration to help get you started, I don't work in rentals or leases necessarily, but as far as the data shows from RE Colorado, and on average you can expect a 3-bed, 2-bathroom house to rent for on the range of about $2,200 to $2,500 on the low end. Most likely you're going to be seeing rents in Highlands Ranch for a single family closer to that $2,700 to $3,000 plus per month. Now, if you're looking for something like a townhome or a condominium, that's definitely going to be a lot more affordable, and those rents roughly on average can be seen as low as $1,750 per month. I've also seen some townhomes renting for as high as $3,300 to $3,500 per month in the more luxury brownstone communities. So it's highly variable. I highly recommend reaching out to a landlord or a rental service, or I can plug you into some of my resources to see if you need help finding a rental in the area. Another cost to consider for the Highlands Ranch area will be the tax rates. So if you're purchasing a car or a larger ticket item, you're going to want to pay attention to this figure because it can directly impact how much sales tax you're going to have on that purchase. Across the state of Colorado, we have a flat rate state tax of 4.55%. Now, combined state and local in Highlands Ranch, it's going to be a bit higher because Highlands Ranch tends to be considered a bit more of an affluent community, and that combined tax rate right now is on average about 7.7%. And finally, for cost of living are the variable costs, and these are the hardest, near most impossible ones to quantify. So I'll give you some high-level ideas of what you can expect or what I've seen most people do as they move into the area, so you can use that in your considerations. The first variable cost is going to be school related. If you have kids or you're planning on having kids, the school system here is fantastic. It's Douglas County Schools. It's one of the highest rated schools in the entire Colorado, Denver metro area. Some families prefer a charter or a magnet or a private school. Private schools are fantastic, and they come with a big price tag. To my understanding, several of the private schools here, especially in Highlands Ranch, start at about $10,000 per year. I know that Valor High School and a couple other ones are a little bit higher at $12,000, $14,000, and $16,000 per year. So reach out to the school that you're interested in. Make sure you get those figures because they are ever changing, and it will be a portion of your monthly budget. Another variable cost, especially being Colorado, is the need for spending, or the seemingly want to spend more on outdoor gear. Ski passes are a near must for most people. If you're not into skiing, going up to the mountains is another one. So gas prices and renting and lodging. I'm sure you're aware ski passes are extremely variable. So depending on which mountain you go to, which type of pass you decide to go with, it can be very expensive or it can be relatively affordable. 4-packs are the way to go if you're just sampling out different mountains. If you know your mountain and you know your village, most people end up buying a season pass to that location. And those can range anywhere from $600 for the year for just a single mountain to upwards of $1,100 plus if you're doing some of the Vail and bigger packages. Another common thing I hear people purchasing are state park passes and federal park passes. We have tremendous state parks really close to where we are in Highlands Ranch, and federal parks within about 45 minutes of us. So getting an annual pass is a really good idea if you plan on going more than once a year, which most people do. So just for argument's sake and conservative measures, probably want to throw that into your monthly budget. A federal pass right now is about $80 for the entire year, which gets you access to all the federal parks across the US. State park passes right now are about $80 to $120, depending on which package you go with. All in all, I feel like it's a really sound investment because there's so much to see and do in these parks, and it's just an amazing getaway. If you're just doing camping or stand-up paddling, take your pick. There's so much cool stuff to go see and explore. And the last variable cost I always recommend people consider is going to be your entertainment costs. And that looks like whatever you're into, whether it's going out to high-end restaurants or going to go see concerts out at Red Rocks, or if you're a barbecuer or a bourbonite like myself. I have a budget set aside for the different kinds of meats I'm going to cook and smoke over the course of a month, or whatever kind of bourbon I'm happening to be hunting down that month. It's a consideration. So whatever your lifestyle looks like, those are the variable costs that I most commonly see, and I recommend you plug into your spreadsheet. But all in all, quick summary, the cost of living might seem a little bit higher in Highlands Ranch compared to the national average, but the benefits that you receive for living in here are really pretty vast, and you can't really put a dollar amount on having free access to parks, open space trails, access to state-of-the-art rec centers. It's all kind of amazing. So it's absolutely relative to your cost and budget. So I highly recommend it. I've been a resident of Highlands Ranch for 20-ish years, and I see myself being here for the foreseeable future. So hopefully that gives you a decent high-level view of what you can expect as far as what your day-to-day high-level costs would be for living in Highlands Ranch. If I covered something where you have questions or didn't cover it in enough detail, do me a favor, leave me a comment below and I'll do my very best to respond to you, or reach out to me directly. My phone number is listed below here somewhere. And lastly, if I said anything in the video or provided some value or a piece of content that you enjoyed, do me a favor. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, like, and comment below. It really helps me out with the algorithm, and it'll keep you informed every time I release a new video. Again, my name is Bill Knapp. I'm a full-time licensed realtor in Denver, Colorado, and this has been a quick snapshot of what cost of living are in Highlands Ranch. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you guys on the next one.